Hi there.
Hiya, I'm Lee, this is Belinda. We live and work at a place called Chateau Mareuil in deepest middle of France. I've always felt very happy at village fetes. It's a nice, joyous thing to do. So,
We hope you enjoy our little film. This is going to be primarily about something Lee's going to be doing for you today.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing today?
well, I thought that what I'd do is every time I've been to a village fete, there's obviously jam stalls and people selling homemade produce, cakes, and then there's the odd-shaped vegetable competition and the best flower arrangement. But quite often there's stalls showing, illustrating to people how things can be made, you know, a little bit of DIY. And I was heavily influenced when I was growing up by the BBC's Blue Peter programme, and I know it's been parodied and in the past. I've not got a badge, but I was always impressed with what they could do with very little materials, and it was always recyclable. So today I'd like to do some make do and mend with some recyclable kitchen material.
You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. So what I'd like to do today is I thought I've quite got an interest in vintage 1950s memorabilia, and what I'd like to do is to
I hope you're not talking about me.
No, certainly not. Would I do that? And what I thought I'd like to do is make a decorative table lamp from kitchen stuff. So I've got here with me.
What is it all under the table?
Yeah, I've got a load of stuff.
Have you got one you made earlier yet?
No.
Oh my goodness!
So
what
what we've
that?
got here is this is all recyclable, and I've managed to pull this out of the bag. So I've got a pot for mixing some styrene foam boards, a couple of egg boxes.
Sorry, you're going to be making a lamp.
I'm going to be making a bedside table lamp from this, yes. We've got a couple of empty cat boxes, and funny enough, an empty wine box.
Oh,
and it seems
it's not funny it's empty, is it though?
It's not funny it's empty, but it seems during lockdown that we seem to have acquired quite a lot of empty wine boxes. So I thought I'll put this to good use today.
Okay.
And this is just a tray to hold it, so I'll put that under there. What I'm going to do is get all my materials together here, ready to make it. These styrene boards and the empty boxes, we're going to need some tools to do that. So I've gathered together.
Are these just normal tools that anybody
can have this, and you may even find it at home. If not, you can get any of this stuff.
There's nothing specialist.
Nothing special, no. You can have this in a hobby shop. So I've got some stuff here. So I've got some sticky tape, ordinary sticky tape.
Not sticky back plastic?
No sticky back plastic involved in this experiment.
Isn't it?
I've got some permanent adhesive spray to sort of hold everything together. Put that there. But I'll show you an alternative for the spray in a minute. I've got some paints.
Deep.
So a couple of acrylic, they're just ordinary acrylic paints, and quite a wide, thick brush for painting. And I'll show you how they can come in handy in a minute. And then we need some tools as well for cutting. Now, everybody in France has got one of these, which is an up-and-all knife.
Lee?
It's a lock knife.
Are you allowed to have one of those?
Yep, here in France you can carry those easily. But
I don't think you can
an ordinary,
in some parts of the world.
Not in some parts, no. An ordinary modelling knife would be okay,
Yeah,
but
I think that might
I
be
couldn't
safer,
find my
girls and
modelling knife.
boys.
Yeah, so I've got that, and then we need a few more other bits and pieces of equipment to assemble this.
Okay.
Now, along with these craft equipment, we need some conventional tools.
Right.
So we need something to make the light work. So a couple of screwdrivers.
Electricity, that helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, electricity, a couple of screwdrivers.
Yeah.
We might need some wire. So
Have you got a light bulb anywhere?
No, I've got a light bulb coming in a minute.
Okay.
And then there's some more specialist tools. So we need a drill, some drill bits.
Oh, I say.
I've got a selection of drill bits here. That's to
Have a look
help
at
with
those,
the wiring.
please.
Yeah. And then also we need something more. The cardboard doesn't cut that well with the knife, so I needed something a bit bigger. So I've got my cardboard cutting saw.
Goodness me.
Notice it's been well
What a
protected.
tool, Lee.
The blade. People have called me worse things. And so this is for cutting the fabric and the cardboard later.
Lee, it looks like you could cut a tree with that.
I'll take the protective blade covering off.
Don't do this at home, boys and girls.
And then, oh, and there's a couple of other things. A hammer, I thought I could, just to knock things into shape if we need it.
Reef.
Finally, I've got Kenny my axe. Notice it's got a protective cover over the blade.
So.
We don't really need this for the DIY itself, but sometimes when I DIY and it doesn't go quite right and I keep trying, I kind of get a little bit angry. I know if Kenny's around, he keeps me calm. So I'm just going to keep Kenny to one side of me, and let's hope he doesn't come out to play in a minute.
Da, da, da.
So if we're starting to use all these tools to make our lamp, we first of all need to be prepared to do it. So there's been a lot of talk in lockdown in the UK about having the right protective equipment, PPE.
Certainly.
Personal protective equipment, and modelling is no different. So I've got my protective high-vis jacket that I'm going to put on. Now I know we're in our own kitchen here.
So what hazards are you protecting yourself against?
If someone comes in through the kitchen door while I'm mid-sawing something, they can see that I might be a hazard. So I'll keep my PPE on.
Right, okay.
I don't need a face mask because it's just me and Belinda who are in our own kitchen, so we live together, so the face mask is not essential. Right. And I'm not going to be wearing a hard hat today because nothing's going to fall on my head from the kitchen ceiling. However, I have got some goggles that I'm going to wear later on when it starts getting a bit splashy. When I'm working with the glue.
Good look.
Okay. So
now
I'm totally prepared. I've got the tools for the job.
Yeah.
I'm in my PPE, and I'm now going to start making some space on the table so that we can see what we're doing. So the next thing is to start working through how we're going to make the lamp. So I thought we'd start by making the lamp base. Now I don't need to wear these just at the moment. I can hang them around my neck until the dirty jobs come along. I'm going to clear some space on the table, so I'm going to put the saw over there because it doesn't quite fit.
You're such a tidy worker, Lee. That's a very positive thing.
So the first thing we need to do is to make the base of the lamp, and for that we need some sort of a fabricated mesh. So what I'm going to do is in this bucket I'm going to cut some of this egg box up and put it in to make a sort of mixture.
Paper mache type
like
of
a
thing.
paper mache. Think paper mache but on a much more industrial scale. So we rip all these egg boxes up.
What are you going to
put them in?
What are you going to use to bind that all together?
Well I've got an idea. So if you I'll just go and get the glue and show you how to make the glue to bind all the egg box and cardboards together. And I'll get my knife out in a minute and the saw. So bear with me.
What you got there, Lee?
So now what I've done is I've put all the egg boxes, tapped it all down here. Now I need some bonding agent to get it together. Now we can use adhesive, but for those of you who don't have modelling adhesive, I've got another concoction here. You can take some flour, ordinary kitchen flour.
Out of my cupboard?
No, I found it in the workshop. So you just put a bit of flour in, spread a lot, don't need much, 1 part flour, 1 part water.
That looks like much more water than flour.
No, I'm going to add a bit more flour and I'm going to stir it round. That's it. And then what I've got is I've got some...
Do you want me to put the oven on?
Interior, no you don't need it. No oven. Interior paste. And I've got a grey one because I want a metallic look to my lamp. So as you can see this is a grey adhesive for tiles. You don't need much of that. Don't use too much because it'll go like concrete. And then you can use the screwdriver to just stir it all round.
Shall we have a look in there, please?
No.
I think we need to see what you're doing.
I'm just stirring it all around to make it really good.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to set that aside for a few moments just to let it harden off a bit. Next we need to make our mould. So what I'm going to use an empty wine box as the mould, and I'm going to stand it in one of these, which is, I believe, one of Belinda's
That's my
best
preserving pan.
preserving. Yeah, well, this is going to preserve my mould.
I hope you don't
jam.
do anything
No,
dangerous in my preserving
I'm not.
pan.
So first of all, we put the mould casing in. So we want a sort of a boxy shaped mould, which is a really good base. So now in the mould, what I want to do, I want to put some decoration around the outside of the base of the lamp. So I've chosen red and blue paints. Acrylics are important, but they don't have to be red and blue. You can choose any colours you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some, I think we'll start off with a bit of red.
Is that food colouring?
No, this is not food colouring, this is acrylic paint.
But you're in my kitchen with my preserving pan. It looks like you're making a cake or something.
No, I assure you this is not. This is a base for it. Yeah, look. So you only need to take a little bit. I'm going to use the red first and then I'll do the blue. And what I'm going to do is paint my logo around the inside face of the cast, the mould. So as you can see, I'm starting to build up. Now, if you put some writing in, make sure you do it upside down.
Anything like it?
No, if you do it upside down, because you think of it like a mirror. So I'm just going to cut off and finish off doing this with the blue paint now.
Oh, okay. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. So now I've painted the logo all the way around this mould. I've got a lot of it on my own hand, so be careful when you're using paint. So the next thing you do is you take the glue, which is now nicely stiffened up. And the reason for putting it in the preserving pan is to make sure it doesn't leak through the mould, and if it does, it doesn't do any damage to the kitchen.
So what I'm going to do, into the mould.
This goes into the mould. Don't be frightened of it, just push it all around. And this is where I need to wear my protective glasses, because I'm going to slop it around in here and make it stick to the side. You must get it stuck all up to the side so it's nice and even and a smooth thing. Right. And finally, put a piece of styrene board, which I'll just cut the styrene board off.
Well, be careful. Don't do this at home, boys and girls, really.
Just for the lid. So this becomes the lid, so you pat the lid in there, right? Yeah. And then what we need to do is to fold this up.
Right.
And seal it. So this is where the tape comes in.
I'm fast losing confidence in this.
No. I've done this before.
Artifact.
Trust me. So you seal this up so that it doesn't have to be airtight, but as long as it doesn't pop, because that mixture will rise just like cake dough.
Oh.
And when it rises, it sticks to the side of the mould. Yeah. And it forms the base of the light fitting. For the next stage in the process, we leave this in the preserving pan and we set it to one side for possibly 4 or 6 weeks. It doesn't need to go into a fridge.
4 or 6 weeks?
6 weeks. If those of you who are lucky enough to have a terrace or a garden even, or even a window box, you can just put it outside. So I'm going to set this one aside.
It's a very slow
it is.
process.
It's a slow process, but it's worth it in the end. Now, I did make one earlier. About 5 weeks ago, which I've got here actually. And I used a cat litter box for this one. Now,
is this the big reveal?
This is the big reveal.
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
think
exciting.
the glasses on for this.
You need your proper glasses. Yeah, okay, right.
So, I'm now
it's like a nose bag, Lee.
I hope this one, it feels firm. I hope this one's going to work. So I'm just going to cut the tape off.
So you've had that brewing for...
This has been in the window box for the last 5 weeks.
Good gracious.
Let me just, I'm a bit nervous doing this live on camera, just in case it's not worked out. Oh, it's stuck down too firm. Sometimes this happens, the moulds stick to the thing. Oh yes, I'm pleased with this.
What have you got?
Look at that. That's what we've made.
Look at that.
Look
That's
at that.
Amazing.
Now, this was so easy to do, and by using a fixing agent, it even sounds like metal.
It certainly does.
How wonderful is that? And what I also did, it's a special technique, but a bit too difficult to do on a Village Fate stall, is I actually made a special screw lid for it. So, but you can do that.
Technical.
It's technical.
Very technical.
If you want to go online and see my YouTube videos,
of how to make a screw top?
How to make a screw top lid, you're welcome.
Okay, Barry. I mean Lee.
Yeah. Harry Button. So now we've got the base of the lamp together.
That looks strangely like an oil can to me.
Well,
but hey,
do you know, it's impressive, isn't it?
incredible.
Isn't that impressive?
You made that all by yourself.
Egg boxes, cement juice, and there you have it. Flour. So the next thing I need to do is to make a shade for it to sit on the top. So
you're going to make a shade?
I'm going to make a shade now. Yes.
How on earth do you make a shade?
Next step. Right, so the next step is to make a shade. So what I looked around the kitchen for objects of uselessness, and I found this, which is a scent bottle. Now, I don't know if any of you have got these at home, but they never work. Don't smell very nice.
No, they don't. And they look dreadful as well.
But these are the bits you're interested in, not the bottle.
The sticks?
The sticks. Because the sticks can be propped up to run material round. So we form a ring with the wire.
Fantastic.
Just like this.
Oh, I get the idea.
Put the sticks there. And then we take some material. I had a piece of material. If you can't find any bespoke light shade material,
do you know, I could crochet something for that.
You could crochet it, or you could use your imagination and creep up to one of the wardrobes in the house and take a sample from a garment hanging in the wardrobe. Normally,
as long as it's your garment.
If I ever do that, I always take it from the back because people don't notice if there's a large square of material.
What, on their bottoms?
Yes. So, and then you wrap material around. Now, this is quite a timely process.
We don't have time to show you.
And I don't have time to show you all of that now. But again, if you go onto my YouTube video, it shows you how to do this.
Wow.
That's it. But we're on a market stall,
really
and I
impressed.
realise that you want to get onto the coconut shies or look at other people's
beer
videos.
tent, mate.
So or the beer tent even. So I've made one earlier.
Okay.
Which
You're
I've
show
just
us
got
that
down
in a
here.
minute?
Yeah, I'll
okay.
just show. So here's the one I made earlier.
That is incredible.
Yes, and you can see.
I'm really impressed.
How the sticks on this one. What I've done is I've painted the sticks white.
Yeah.
And I've used an old tea towel to wrap it round.
Yeah. And what's that white bit at the bottom?
The white bit is the bit that fits over the.
How did you make that?
Well, I made that out of plastic ring. So here's another plastic ring that I've made earlier.
Oh, I see.
Now we get to the tricky part. So
Okay.
you can start to see the lamp
I can.
taking shape. So you imagine the lamp sitting there on top of the base. So you can see it's coming together. A nice pretty lamp. You can imagine that, but the side of your bed, it's got a nice retro feel to it. Even sounds like metal.
Are you talking about me again? That nice retro feel?
Nice retro
next
feel
to you
in the bedroom.
bed?
Yes.
Charming.
So the third stage in making my bedside lamp would be to do the electrical wiring. Now this needs to be done by an expert or by a proprietary.
Like it should be done by someone else.
By an expert, because that could be dangerous if you plug it in. Now we're fortunate because in this region of France where we live, you can buy suitable accessories that are already packaged and ready for use. So I've bought these. These are not homemade.
Especially to make lamps with?
Yeah, if you see at the back, you can make special lamps with them. So I'm just going to cut these apart and get the pieces out and get ready to assemble. So I've unwrapped all these proprietary made goods, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the plug, which is a European French plug, it's pre-wired, so there's no worries about compliance or anything. And then I'm going to put a hole in here, pull the wire through and up through here, and put an hole in there. So
that looks tricky to me.
No, it's not tricky.
Ooh,
just get a drill.
Man
with the drill. So I just plug my drill in here.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Like that. This is pre-sized to come through here, so that's fine. So I do a hole here.
Do you want me to mark it or anything?
No, I don't. You don't.
Again, children, don't do this at home without an adult. Whoa!
Done. So now I've got my 2 holes and my cable ready.
Okay.
So now, having drilled the holes, what I can do is take the top off. Take one of these proprietary made pieces and fit it through the hole in the top, like that. Take the second piece, which is this, and screw it to it. all hand tightened.
It doesn't take very long, does it? It's really good.
The biggest thing is the 5-week wait for the mould to set.
Nice.
That's the biggest thing.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's a tense time.
It's a
waiting
tense
for
time,
somebody.
and particularly as you don't know how it's going to turn out. So already you can start to see, whoops,
Ooh.
you can start to see that this will screw on here.
Yeah. Bit wonky, Lee.
No, it can be straightened easily like that. There you
It'll
are.
snap off.
It won't snap off. We can then, this has come pre-threaded. And I'm not going to keep all of you people at the fair waiting to watch me wire it up. I'll wire it up and show you the end product
We'll see you
in a
later,
minute.
shall
See
we?
you later. But so then this goes, the shade goes on top here.
Is that how it's going to look?
Yeah. And you can start to see, I've just got it precariously balanced on there, but you can start to see it needs a bit of
It
straightening.
looks a bit like a lamp, doesn't
It
it?
does look a bit like a lamp.
So what are you going to do? You're going to wire it now?
I'm going to take this off,
Yeah.
and now I'm going to thread all the cable through, which is a fiddly bit.
Yeah, that'll take
So
ages.
if you go off while I do that and enjoy a coconut stall, or get maybe a beer from the beer
get a
tent,
Prosecco.
or a Prosecco,
Definitely.
you know, go and enjoy yourself. But do come back and visit me when I've got this finished wiring off.
See you later.
See you later. So you may remember when you left to go to the beer tent. I hope you're now pleased you're back.
I'm back. I'm wobbling. Sorry. Oh, right.
I've put the shade on.
Yeah.
I've got the wire through, threaded in. It was already pre-plugged. So
Was
I
that
didn't have to do
difficult to put that in?
No, it took about 2 minutes to
It's
just
a bit
flip it
fiddly,
in.
yeah.
And now what remains to be seen is if it works. So I've got a light bulb, which I'll put
Right.
the light bulb in.
How many electricians does it take to change a light bulb?
That's a dad joke. Now I'll put an extension lead in.
Do you know the answer?
No. And now we see if it works.
No.
No. It could be a blown light bulb.
Okay, see you later.
See you later.
5 minutes later.
And make light work. Take 2.
Okay, my problem earlier was the bulb wasn't screwed in properly. So it is now.
Elementary, my
So I'm now. Ta-da! All that from 2 egg boxes,
That's
a piece of
amazing.
styrene foam board, a piece of cloth from someone's garment that's still hanging in the
God, I hope it's not mine.
in the wardrobe, and a few bought-in items.
That's
And now we have a
absolutely
nice
brilliant,
retro
Lee.
bedside table lamp.
Well done and thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you for spending some time with us. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your fate.